launching us into the vortex.
Factor Theory Live. The Apollo missions. Have you heard of them? Most of you have. Some people haven't. Slow down. Relax. Are you one of those that believe they really happened? I thought a lot of you might say that. This show is about how it is very likely that was a big time fraud. And we'll get into the reason why, the full reason why, in other episodes. What did they do with the money? They spent some of it, of course, building fake rockets and employing a bunch of people. And they also employed, amongst these people that NASA employed, were graphic artists and computer experts. And there is a guy, and I'll see if I can find it and pop it on here. He even says it is Photoshop, but it has to be. Doesn't explain why.
So hey guys, Jeff here, and today I want to share with you this article that's on nasa.gov. It's about Robert Simon, aka Mr. Blue Marble. It's from about 3 years ago, and it's a little interview. They ask him a bunch of questions, and I found some of his answers rather interesting. So let's take a look. What do you do, and what is most interesting about your role here at Goddard? How do you help support Goddard's mission? His answer was, my role is to make imagery from Earth science's data. Okay, he makes images. He does not take photographs. I turn data into pictures. I look for new interesting events that NASA satellites have seen or that are hidden in the latest data to find anything interesting that shows off NASA's unique capabilities. Yeah, unique capabilities as in creating CGI Earth planets. It's not unique at all. This man is a piece of shit because this man is being used as part of the deception, and he probably doesn't even know that he's being used like a tool. Okay? He probably has no idea that the Earth is flat and that he is part of the grand deception. What is the coolest thing you've ever done as part of your job at Goddard? His answer is unbelievable. It's actually quite believable, but it's just remarkable. The last time anyone took a photograph from above low Earth orbit that showed an entire hemisphere, one side of the globe, was in 1972 during Apollo 17. NASA's Earth Observing System, EOS satellites, were designed to give a checkup of Earth's health. By 2002, we finally had enough data to make a snapshot of the entire Earth. So we did. The hard part was creating a flat map of the Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. Okay? So this guy is admitting that there has only been one photograph taken of the entire Earth, one side of the of the globe, so that you see a perfect circle, since 1972. This guy made the blue marble, I believe, in 2004. 32 years went by, and they had only taken one photograph of Earth, and it was during Apollo 17, and we can prove how they faked these shots. The Apollo 17 shot is just a photograph taken of the Earth, cropped into a circle through a round window. Okay, it's not a genuine photo. This guy is admitting that they have 0 genuine photographs of the Earth. The hard part was creating a flat map of the Earth's surface. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball. My part was integrating the surface, clouds, and oceans to match people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. This guy is admitting that they created a flat map and then wrapped it around a ball. This is precisely what I've been saying that they did. The globe model, the heliocentric model, is reverse engineered from the truth. And his job was to make sure that it matched people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. You know what that means? It means it doesn't matter if it's realistic. It doesn't matter if it shows a perfect sphere or that it's not a pear-shaped oblate spheroid. This wasn't about truth. This wasn't about reality. This was about matching people's brainwashed expectations of how Earth looks from space. That ball became the famous blue marble. The blue marble image that you see all the time is CGI. That is not a photograph. NASA does not try to claim it's a real photograph, but NASA has absolutely no problem with you believing it's a real photograph. And that's the biggest problem. 32 years went by and they claim to only have one real photograph of the Earth from space.
So we'll get into the full why at another time, but for those of you right away that are going, oh, this guy's full of shit, I want you to Google right now. Stop this video in a second and Google the Van Allen belt. Stop the video. Alright, are you back? Okay, yes. Now you might be ready to understand where I'm coming from. The Van Allen belt is something that is between us and the moon that we cannot get through. How do I know this? Well, NASA themselves told me. Wait, I have proof.
NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
And unlike the previous program, we are setting a course with specific and achievable milestones. Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Multiple government outlets have leaked this information on purpose because they want you to follow the breadcrumbs back to the outlets that cover this propaganda. In this clip, you heard exactly what they wanted you to hear. And in these other clips, you're seeing exactly what they want you to see. And while it points towards mass deception, what it might suggest is mass deflection. There are no accidents in politics. That's poli-sci 101. In the 1940s, it was widely reported that we shot down 3 interstellar craft and recovered the technology. The Sirius Disclosure Project claims to have a white paper from Canadian intelligence in the 1940s stating that anti-gravity technology derived from Roswell was even more important than the development of the hydrogen bomb. It states that top US scientific minds of the times, including Edward Teller, were spending more time on Roswell tech than the H-bomb. The point here, ladies and gentlemen, is what do you think the people that lost their 3 interstellar craft were thinking? You think they didn't notice that their crew and equipment went missing? Of course they noticed. And if you want to know what NASA and everybody else is doing with the trillions of dollars of missing money, they're building underground cities, as stated by Phil Schneider and the like, because they know an invasion is coming. They've dead man fused every city, weaponized cell phone towers. Across the country, they put up who knows how many satellites with who knows what kind of technology, from kinetic weapons to tectonic weapons, and even more in anticipation of an Independence Day-like scenario. 9/11 was staged to increase funding for those types of programs. Trillions went missing the day before 9/11, and trillions have gone missing ever since. Probability would suggest here that this is part of what they're hiding with their flat Earth psyop. Other evidence suggests that the invasion has begun and there's a silent war taking place right now. This would explain one of the purposes of chemtrails, to powder the sky in a way to detect penetration of the atmosphere by radar. But the scenario might be even more dynamic than that. It could be that we're under occupation by some sort of evil empire and that some other group of interstellar beings are trying to set us free. This brings us back to the moon and the lunar wave controversy. Our moon is by far the biggest in terms of moons to planet ratios. It's like 1/4 the size of the Earth. It's super huge, and it's a mystery hiding in plain sight. Many have suggested that the moon might be a forward operating base, and most of you by now have heard of the experiments where they hit the moon with a rocket and it rang like a bell. So wake up out there. We're not pushing this issue to piss people off. We're pushing the issue to get people to think beyond the psyop. Yes, they're hiding something. Yes, you're on the right track. But it's our best assertion that it isn't a flat earth they're trying to hide. It's something much more nefarious than that. Keep pushing the envelope. Keep pushing the horizon. Something else is going on.
Let me ask you, does anyone else see that in the sky? How the sky is got a perfectly straight line all the way through it? One side is dark blue, and one side is light blue. Is anybody else seeing that? Because it's a perfect.
Richie from Boston just put this out the other day. And each day, new images of black chemtrails are being reported. They're certainly not shadows, because this one gets projected up towards the sky. Whatever is going on this planet, it's much worse than we know. We've mentioned previously that chem weather maps appear to show that the planet is being terraformed, that a discrete takeover is taking place before our very eyes. See beyond the controversy. Open your mind. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
I had two, but it's because I was